Hello, good morning. My name is Luis. I'm going over the book Out of My Mind by Sharon and Draper. I do have it on here as I don't have a physical copy of the book. I was able to find it online though, so that's where I did the reading from. This story it revolves around an 11-year-old girl. Her name's Melody. She has cerebral palsy and as well as photographic memory. She's not able to walk. She's not able to talk. Help, but the photographic memory that comes in later on in the story. So you follow Melody in her school life, going through the challenges, going through the hardships, as well as going through the the positivities that she learns throughout the story. You see both kindness and cruelty when it comes to her peers and even the teachers, which was a bit appalling when it came to this story. Um, when it comes to pictures, stuff like that, it doesn't have any pictures. It's just this one picture, the little fish jumping out of a bowl. It is a chapter book. I decided to choose the chapter book, because I felt like it it touches me more as I don't have a disability, but I did have a family member that did have cerebral palsy that did um, go through what Melody had or has, and it really touched me. So this is why I chose this one. So when it comes to the story, I know in the instructions it didn't say, didn't ask for you to add themes to what we're supposed to identify, but I decided to add it as it did. It helps you visualize. It helps you understand the story more. So some of the themes you see here is identity. You see perseverance, and you see empathy later on in the story, of course. So identity. When it comes to the identity, you see Melody. She wants to be heard. She can't be heard. She is stuck in her body. Even though she has that photographic memory, she's not able to express it. She's not able to voice it like she wants to, and you see that in her frustration. You see later on in the points that I'm going to make, you do see her frustration come through. So with the perseverance, I would say perseverance and resilience actually. Um, this comes through with the challenges she has to face. The people picking on her, the teachers treating her differently than the other students. I wouldn't. There is a moment in the story where some physical contact does happen to Melody, and this is very crucial as it shows the cruelty the teachers did to her, the embarrassment, the isolation she feels because of it. So that's going to come in later on when I start explaining why I chose the specific passage. Um, However, you also see friendship. You see acceptance from her mother. Her, her mother, of course, accepts her. Her mother pushes for her to receive the same education as the other students receive. At first, she does get backlash. Doesn't let her, doesn't let Melody receive the same education for 5 years. Melody does go through the special education program, and the mother continues fighting and fighting for her to be in the same classes as I don't want to say normal, because while she does have a disability, everyone is normal. Everyone's still human. But her mother does push. Her friendship, her name is Rose. Rose is Melody's one friend. She, yeah, I would say she's her one friend. She accepts Melody for her disability, and she pushes Melody forward to continue doing what she does to achieve the greatness that Melody ends up achieving at the end of the book. Um, you do see this happening. So, some character development that does happen when it comes to the story is Melody does receive an accommodation so that Melody can communicate with her peers. It's a soundboard, and while it isn't the I don't want to say best, but yeah, it isn't the best. She is still able to communicate. She's able to express herself. She's able to finally show everyone that who she really is, and this really helps with her with helping her grow throughout the story. So, the connections with Rose, the mother, and even at the end, the teacher who did this, pushed, who isolated Melody, does end up apologizing. Does she does she understands what Melody had to go through, and she accepts Melody for who she is. So Melody is in fifth grade, and she grows up with this disability of cerebral palsy, and photographic memory, which can be seen as a disability, but um, here and there. So the characters in the story, we got Melody Brooks, the main protagonist of and the narrator of the story. We see her. The story is through her eyes. Through you get to see what she goes through. It's not one of those, oh, there's a third party narrator that's speaking. No, it's all first person. This is what Melody has to go through. So yeah. Then we have Diane Brooks. That's her mother. She's the one that fight for her education, fight for her to be with the norm for her to be with the individuals who don't have a disability. And she provides Melody. She helps Melody fight for that soundboard that Melody does end up getting around the middle of the novel. So then we also have Penny Brooks. This is Melody's younger sister, and with Penny Brooks, it's a bit of a it's a good and a bad thing, since Melody seeing Penny, it pushes her to be better. It pushes her to strive for greatness. However, there's also a bit of envy in there, as Melody sees, oh, how come my little sister doesn't have what I have? How come my little sister is normal? How come I'm not? So there's a bit of envy in there, but at the end of the novel, it's just love between them, which, yeah. So then again, we have Rose. This is Melody's best friend. She pushes Melody to become who she is. She pushes Melody to achieve greatness. And yeah. Then we have Mr. Deming. Mr. Deming, we don't see too often. However, he is a major character, as he also pushes Melody to compete in a competition that the school has. It's a trivia competition, and with Melody's photographic memory, it really pushes her and it inspires her. This photographic memory, as well as Mr. Deming saying, letting her know, you are great. You are the achievement. You are the greatness this school needs. You are. I don't really know how to put it into words. But Mr. Deming pushes her. Without Mr. Deming, Melody wouldn't be able to achieve what she does. So, and then we also have Catherine. Catherine is the personal aide. She helps Melody when it comes to the classes. Since Melody's not able to speak at the beginning of the novel, she helps speak to the teacher. This is what Melody's saying. This is what Melody's thinking. And because of Catherine, she's able to participate in that, in the trivia contest, and able to win that trivia contest at the end of the novel as well. Without Catherine, Melody wouldn't have known that this trivia was going on. She wouldn't have wanted to do it, because Catherine also pushed Melody for greatness. And then we have the antagonists of the story, Molly North and Claire Wilson. These individuals, they want to bring Melody down. They see because Melody has a disability, because she's different, they view her as lesser than who they are. They're bullies. However, at the end of the novel, they do end up apologizing. Everyone does end up becoming friends. Again, but however, Melody, she doesn't necessarily say that she accepts them as friends. She just says, in just to brief it, and just okay. Thank you for the apology. That's it. She doesn't accept them. So, some of the main events that happen when it comes to this novel, Melody's education. She starts in elementary. Right away, when she goes into the elementary, she's put into the special needs um, education program, which again her mother pushes so to not be in. She wants Melody to be a part of the normal classes. Some and then not halfway. I wouldn't say halfway, but early in the novel, Melody also gets a puppy. The puppy's named Butterscotch. Melody views this puppy as, oh, I want to be able to play with this puppy. I want to be able to speak to this puppy. I want to be able to do the things that normal individuals do with pets. So this pushes Melody as well to to I don't want to say get better, but get better. And then the same time as Melody gets his puppy, her baby sister is born. And again, it's a bit of envy, it's a bit of love. At the end, it's all love, but until then, it's envy and love. That's what we see between Penny and Melody. Towards the middle of the novel, this is when Melody hears about the trivia contest, about wanting to participate in it. However, she's not able to due to her disability. So her parents, they get her an electric chair, one that has a little soundboard on it, one she's able to communicate with. And this, you really see freedom envelop in Melody when this happens. You see emotion other than frustration and hate towards herself. You really see happiness. You see the happiness boil up due to her being able to communicate with people, being able to express who she really is. And that's really touching, I would say. And then the competition. The team is called the Whiz Kids. Melody's a part of it. I'd say she's the captain of it because throughout it, once the competition does start, she does. There is other students in it, but they aren't really focused in the story. The story really focuses on Melody, on her participation in the story, on what she does for the team. She is the anchor. She's the one that pulls it off at the end. She's the one that gets them the win for the school. And because of this win, you start seeing change in everyone's opinions on her. You start seeing everyone understanding her, everyone apologetic. They start accepting Melody for who she is. They don't start seeing, oh, she has a disability. Let's view her differently. No, they start seeing Melody is a real person. Why are we treating her differently? Why are we isolating her? She's one of us. She's human, and that's very touching. Again, I have gone through this. Not me personally, but one of my family members that I was very close to, who sadly has passed away already, but that I was personally connected to. So I understand the acceptance when it comes to this. So some of the main conflict was towards the beginning of the novel, beginning a little bit towards the middle, when Melody's unable to express herself, unable to speak. She's not able to be Melody. She's stuck in her body, not being able to be her. That's the main problem of the story. There is smaller problems, that being people not accepting her for who she is, even though she does get her soundboard, she does get her electric chair. People still view her as different because of that, but that changes at the end. So, some of the main lessons learned here is empathy and understanding. Melody's peers, they slowly start to learn and accept her. Oh, excuse me. Especially after the competition. Even before then, once she starts speaking and speaking her mind towards them, they start saying, "Oh, okay, I get her. I agree with her thoughts." So that's the empathy, that's the understanding you start seeing throughout, in the middle of the novel, towards the end of it. And And then perseverance, of course, the perseverance being Melody fighting to be a normal individual, fighting to be Melody, fighting for her voice. Even throughout these obstacles, even through her frustration, even through her crying, her screeching, which we'll see right now. Um, you see the determination she has. You see the inspiration that she invokes in others, so that you see the inspiration, you see the that she invokes in others, and that you really get to connect with Melody in that terms. And then when it comes to acceptance, so we did touch on this towards the beginning of the video. Acceptance, she starts developing genuine connections. Again, Rose, she's the second person because her mother, she accepted her. Her father, you don't really see it in the story, but he's not as accepting of Melody. But the mother starts talking to him, and that's how they get her the electric chair. Because the father finally not fully accepts Melody for who she is, but understands her. But the connection she starts developing with Rose. Rose is the first one that says, "I don't care how you are. You're a great person. I like being around you. Let's be friends." And her and Catherine, her helper, Catherine, and her mother. They're really the only three from the beginning towards a little bit towards the middle that truly accept her for who she is. They don't care what disability she has. They love her for her, which again is very touching. It hits close to home, and it's why I chose the acceptance as that. So the stereotypes when it comes to this novel is the stereotyping of her disability. She really challenges it because of what she's able to achieve. The intelligence she really has, just not being able to express it towards the beginning. And it gets you thinking when you first see it. How do I say this? Achievement isn't due to physical abilities. It's all what's on the inside. It has nothing to do with what you're physically able to do, what you're able to say, what you're able to think, what you're able to express, even if that's not through vocal. When she gets her soundboard, what she's able to express towards others, that starts changing their minds. That starts accepting her. Yeah, just accepting her. So, the 1 second. I have to see the questions that we did have. Here we are. So, why I chose the passage from the novel that I chose. So, it starts quotation marks from the very beginning. Mrs. Valencia, that's the teacher that does not understand her, does not accept her. Mrs. Valencia gave me no empathy. Instead of sitting me in my special chair in the front of the class, like my parents told her to do, she sat me in the back of the class on the floor. In the middle of the floor, I felt isolated. I felt frustration, as I wasn't able to let her know, I don't want this. I want to be in the front of the class with the other students. Due to this, I started to cry. And because of this crying, and because of the teacher, because of Miss Valencia saying, "Why are you crying?" and I started to screech. So, this passage, while it's very touching, this is why I chose it. I chose it because this touches close to home. This was my grandpa. He wasn't able to speak. He wasn't able to walk. However, he was able to move his limbs, not walk, but his arms. He was able to move his arms. He was able to let you know what he was feeling through those movements. And that's very touching. That hit me close to home because there was in our family there wasn't very much people who understood him, what he was trying to say through these motions. The people who came and visited him, they looked down on him. They viewed him as lesser. And this passage from the book, that's why I chose it. You see, Ms. Valencia views Melody as someone who's lesser than her because of her disability. And seeing that hit me close to home. That made the feeling of isolation, that I was able to see what my grandpa felt, and that it touched me. I felt that, and I understood what my grandpa had to go through every day until his passing. And it really helped me develop more sympathy towards individuals with disabilities, that they are stronger than us, that we as people who don't have disabilities, we wouldn't be able to, let's say from one day to another we got a disability, we wouldn't be able to we wouldn't be strong enough to fight that disability. We wouldn't want to, we'd close ourselves in, we'd give up. These individuals who go through these disabilities, they're powerful, they're strong, they're stronger than you and I. They go through challenges that we wouldn't be able to go through. And it helped me develop more empathy. It opened my eyes. It said, wow, me when I was in high school, I picked on these people. Why did I do that? It opened up my eyes, and it really helped me understand that. So that's why I chose that passage. It helped me understand more. So away from getting all emotional, some of the assistive technologies we can see be used in this novel are the communication boards, her soundboard that she uses for her electric wheelchair. I think in real life, when it comes to the classroom, that this can be helpful, especially with individuals with cerebral palsy. It'll help them communicate more. It'll help them answer questions. And while sure they might need more time to answer that question, they're understanding the topic. They're understanding the topic, and us as teachers, that's what we need to them to understand. So yeah. Some examples of this, again, that soundboard, some picture boards. So we can get, let's say around the classroom, we have pictures. The individual can go point at it. The students can tell if they have a helper, can you go point at this? Or it'd be very helpful. Picture-based boards, just pictures around to help us know what they're thinking, what their thoughts are. Alphabet boards would be extremely useful as well. They can spell out what they're thinking, what their thoughts, what they want us to know, and I feel like that's helpful. And then topic-specific boards. Well, I guess it can be the same thing as the picture-based boards. Yeah, no, it'll be the same thing as the picture-based boards. I just decided that the topic-specific, because instead of just pictures, it's full-on sentences that the student can start understanding and learning. That'd be very helpful as well. So when it comes to accommodations, of course, seating arrangement. Seating arrangement is a huge one, as we want to sit the individuals with disabilities closer to the front, closer to the door, because most individuals with disabilities, they get to leave the class earlier. So seating arrangement, very, very helpful, very, very much needed when it comes to dealing with students with disabilities. Classroom acoustics. So making the sound in the classroom not too loud. Especially if you have someone with cerebral palsy or someone who is very sensitive to sound. If the sound is too loud when in the classroom, this can set them off. This can make them feel discomfort in the class, and as teachers, we don't want that. We want everyone to feel included. We want everyone to feel like everyone is one person. So classroom acoustics, making the sound normal, not too loud, would really help individuals with disabilities. And then slopping boards. While this, it is helpful. It isn't a major thing though. So this can be helpful when it comes to writing. So slopping boards is those little boards you put up. Here, let me do this, and like this, so they can write. It can help them first, their posture. It'll help their posture, and as well as it'll help them get a comfortable position when it comes to writing as well. So in my mind, that's helpful, but it's either here or there. So some instructional adjustments that I would use. Additional time, of course, to students who need it. You give them additional time when it comes to tests, when it comes to assignments. As students with disabilities, while not all of them need it, it is helpful for them, so they don't feel stressed out that, oh, I need to get this done now, or I'm gonna miss the deadline. They're not going to be as stressed. I find that very helpful. Again, the adaptive tools when it comes to the communication boards, the alphabet boards, the picture boards. We can also like interactive pens, so we can give them a little tablet, and they can write with pens or with the magic pens, and this can maybe show up on the screen, show up over there in our desk on our computer, to help us understand what the student's thinking, instead of them having to raise their hand or say it out loud, which can make them feel discomfort, which of course you don't want that when it comes to the classroom. So the grade levels that I recommend for this book is upper elementary, or students who are the last grade of elementary going into middle school. I believe that the book would be perfect for these students, as in this age, this is from 9 to 14. Students are developing empathy. Students are developing it's another word, understanding towards individuals with disabilities. That's why, again, with a student like myself, I didn't understand what understanding was when it came to individuals with disabilities, which is why I did what I did in high school. Again, I absolutely regret it, understanding now what individuals with disabilities have to go through. So from these grade ranges, 9 to 14, they're barely developing their empathy and their understanding. So if we can get on it early, if we can start telling them that the individuals with disabilities, they're normal people. They're like you and I. While yes, they this sounds mean. I won't say that. They don't think like us as fast as us. They still think like us. They don't understand it as fast as you and I, but they'll still understand the topic. So having the students understand that early would be very helpful. Especially now, with students on their phones with the TikTok, with the whole YouTube shorts, whatever it is, bullying individuals with disabilities, making fun of them, laughing at them, that's being pushed a lot in social media, which is just not acceptable. So in school, pushing that agenda would just be very helpful in helping students understand that, understand and empathize with these individuals. So some of the places you can see this novel be used more, to help understand, would be book clubs. I know some teachers have book clubs that, like, at the end of the day, that students participate in. Showing this book, to those students will help, again, understand and empathize with these individuals with disabilities and spread awareness. Another place this could be used is anti-bullying programs. Yeah. Melody in the story, she experienced bullying with those two students, and putting this book in anti-bullying, again, that's the same as the book club, will help spread awareness towards these individuals and hopefully stop that, as we don't need that. These individuals are greatness. These are our future, and we want to stop it. We want to stop the bullying and the negativity towards them as soon as possible. So, why did I choose this novel? I appreciate it. Again, it hits close to home. It touched me in my feelings. It helped me understand more, opened my eyes to, this is how an individual with cerebral palsy, what they have to go through. It helped me understand their hardship and their struggles, which, again, it hit close to home. It helped me witness their resilience, their determination, to become greatness, to do greatness. And again, that had me very emotional with how close to home that hit me. That's really why I chose it. It hit close to home. It helped me understand individuals with cerebral palsy, with disabilities. It really immersed me, and I really appreciated that. The novel was beautiful. It was heartwarming. It was eye-opening for me, and I greatly appreciate the novel for it, and I would highly recommend this read. That's my book report. I greatly appreciate you watching it, and thank you very much.